I'm just curious if you had a, I'm just curious if you had a chance to figure out some of those defensive injuries and how much time these guys will miss.
Yeah, we talked about it today, so we're optimistic. So I think I'm going to know a whole lot more later this afternoon. So, with the players. So I think Wednesday, honestly, I'll have a good feel. Right now, like I said, I'm optimistic about all those guys. So we'll see where they are, and we're just waiting to see how they do when they start to work a little bit.
And now that you had a day to kind of digest that defensive performance, can you put your finger on what's missing other than pass rush?
Well, I mean, there's, just trying to make plays, whether it be at the top of routes or, just on the edges and crack replace. There's a lot of things that go on during the course of the game. So, they're all things that we've got to keep working on and continue to clean up. It's not a lot of errors, for say, like in the past where you're like, holy cow, this, something's bad. But it just seems like, when it's time for us to make plays, and there have been times where they made plays, but to make it consistently, that's what we're striving for.
Thank you, Mark. Let's go over to Hayes and then Gary.
Hey, Doug, how is Gardner playing for you?
Well, I think like everyone else, I think when you're sitting here and you've had some plays and there's other plays that you may want back, you're going to want more. I think the things that he's worked on, completion percentage and things of that nature, I think has helped. I mean, I think he's gotten better, but I think, Gardner's a heck of a competitor. So I think he's still striving to make sure he can take advantage of all the things that are going on during the course of the game. So I think like everybody else, I think, I told the team afterwards, if you're sitting here and you're like, well, look, I'm doing, my job, I'm winning and don't think we can get anything more out of you, then, we got problems. And, the players have been good. I mean, they understand that, we have to get better. The coaches, myself, I mean, and get better to a point where we become more consistent and try to put together, 60 minutes. There's flashes, but, flashes aren't good enough to win games.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hayes. Let's go, Gary D-Rock.
Hey, Doug, you've never been 1-3 as a coach. You've always been with Buffalo over here. You've always been 2-2 or better through 4 games. What kind of personal pep talks, I guess, are you giving yourself right now for moving forward?
I don't really have time to get down or my personality is to make sure, I'm doing everything I can. I'm looking at everything with, clear eyes, that I'm not letting my emotion or maybe reacting to something just to make myself feel good. Those are where you get yourself in problems. Looking to make sure that everything's clearly communicated and really looking to try to lead this team to perform better, and the coaches. So, that's how I look at it. I've never been a guy that, just kind of, does it eat up inside you? Absolutely. Do you, is everything a gut check? Absolutely. But, when you're in this position and you're in a position to lead, that's what you have to do. And I think, kind of like, when I come in here and talking to you guys, you guys are going to ask me questions. I'm going to give you straight answers of exactly what I think we need to do. Like I said, there's flashes of plays, guys have made it. But the consistency of it, is something that we have to work on. And, we continue to keep pushing to put ourselves in a good situation, with the players. That's on us as coaches. And then, get those players where we can make those plays and go. So, the looking at oneself and, what do you do to keep yourself motivated? You work your whole entire life to try to get where you are. So if you're going to lack of motivation or competitiveness about you at a certain point, you probably weren't cut out, to be in this business anyway.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure. No problem, Gary.
Thanks, Smitter. Let's go over to D-Rock and then Mia.
Hey, Doug, based on what you've seen on film going over these games, how much attention is Josh Allen getting from opposing offenses? Are they sliding over towards him a little bit more? Are they chipping him more than maybe some of the other guys? Or how many opportunities is he getting one-on-one?
Well, I think we've seen it. I think, he wants to, and I'm sure Josh, like all of us, D-Rock, they want to play better. There's times where, close, but, sometimes in the pass rush, it's a combination of a lot of things. Again, they might be sliding 2 and maybe 3 over 2 on that side. Most of the time it all depends on what hash you're on, where they're taking the center, things of that nature. So obviously there is some attention. But again, I'm sure that, we want to do better when we are matched up, I'm saying one-on-one and be able to get to the quarterback in times where, he's got to hold the ball or get off the, not throw the first read, because if everything's in timing, it's difficult, to get there if you're not throwing it, obviously vertically down the field, past the chains on 3rd down. So, I think with all our guys, that's what we're looking at. Hey, listen, on these one-on-ones now, we've got to win. We've got to find some guys to win, and you're not going to win all the time, but we're going to try to win, more often.
People say, blitz more if you're not getting pressure with just 4. But how hard is it for a guy like Todd who doesn't? That's not part of his philosophy. The philosophy of his defense is to get pressure with the front 4. How hard is it for a guy, that doesn't necessarily believe in blitzing a lot to just kind of throw everything to the side and really just go crazy and blitz a ton?
Yeah, I think that, part of the issue was that, when you say philosophy or he's not like that or anything of that nature, it's, I would probably say that's not true, from my standpoint, because, I think when we had, when we've been here before and we could get pressure with the 4, what I'm saying, and then mix it up, it was, it's good. And I think if you talk to everyone's philosophy, you'd want to do that, if you could. I mean, you get the maximum amount of what you're getting up front in the pass rush, you're getting the maximum amount what you can get in coverage. And, obviously that makes it a lot tougher on people. I think that, when you start bringing guys, what I'm saying, there's at least always going to be 6, guys that can protect. So now you got to bring 7, so now what are you playing, playing behind it? Are you playing, do you feel good about your matchups in man coverage? How quick can you get there? It's different than what you see in the red zone when it's cover 0 and you got someone, running free and forcing the ball out, which we've done, a couple of times. And I think if you look at, probably the last 2 years compared to, where Todd has been, or even the philosophy of the structure of the defense, of as far as league wide, I would say that we're probably, pressuring more, than people think, especially on 1st and 2nd. 3rd and short's always difficult, because the ball comes out quick and, you got to play man behind it, which we've done a couple of times. We pressured yesterday, had a guy come free, we missed him, missed opportunity there on Dakota. So it's a lot more, it's much more difficult than what people, think. I think it's the same thing. I got this a lot yesterday of, not from you guys, but, hey, pressure more, okay. We're trying to put our guys in the right spots where where we think the players are coming and put them in a position to make plays. I don't think necessarily you've seen anyone, running free. We're not getting there as fast as we'd like to get there, but what you're seeing is, there are opportunities for us to make some plays and we haven't been able to make them.
Thank you, Doug.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go over to Mia and then John Reed.
First, I'd like to apologize if you hear a humming. They are taking down trees right outside my window. So I was supposed to be doing my anchoring bit, and yeah, needless to say, that got postponed by the trees. Anyways, building off of D-Rock's question, Doug, you said yesterday, I'm making sure I get the quote right, you really want to get better plans on how we want to pass rush these guys. You only have 6 days to get ready for the Texans. So what in the plan can you change in that short amount?
Yeah, when I was talking about that, I'm talking about exactly of, what our thoughts are of, when we know it's a passing situation of exactly what we want to do. Whether we want to use power, whether we want to go speed to power, whether we want to run speed, looking at what games that might be able to get us free. That's what I'm talking about from a standpoint of, really getting a plan, and having a good plan to pass rush. I think that, being able to convert, when it goes to play action and early downs is important. We put a lot of emphasis on the run. And, when there's play action, we've got to be able to convert and get pressure on the quarterback there. So when I say about plans, I hope I didn't mislead you to say plans of like, changing schemes, just more of individual, what's the best matchups? Do we have everyone on the guys we want? And then, hey, what's the best situation we have as far as a plan on how do we want to attack these guys? And then have a plan and then make sure that we're doing that during the course of the game.
You mentioned emphasis on the run defense. Obviously, you were able to hold Derrick Henry, the Colts rushing attack, to low numbers. Do you just chalk it up to Joe Mixon just had a career day, it was just his day? Or have you seen progressively the rushing defense maybe regress a little bit over the last few weeks?
Well, I think you could say we didn't play as well as we wanted yesterday. I mean, I think, in the past we've given up some, but I thought overall, it was better than we've been. I think yesterday, we didn't play anywhere near how we wanted to play. I think we lost leverage a couple of times, which really hurt us as far as edging the defense and leverage on the outside of it. And then, inside, we missed a gap one time. We made a mistake that caused them to go up the middle. And then, there was a couple of missed tackles in there. So, those are the things that hurt you against a good running back. You look at even some of the swing passes and things of that nature. You got to do a good job tackling. He's a good back, and we just got to keep doing a better job.
Thanks, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Neil. Let's go over to John Reed and then Gene.
How you doing, Doug? How much do you attribute your defensive problems to just youth and new faces? I mean, you lost those players with the COVID and just what has it been like trying to get everybody ingrained? I mean, it's only been a quarter of the season, but can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I think I just want to be careful about we do have a lot of young guys playing, a lot of guys that don't have that experience, but you can sit there and like I told the coaches, I said you can feel that way, but that's not going to help you. I look at it the other way that, hey, listen, these guys, the effort's there. We're getting the effort. We're getting everything we need from them from practice. And, the challenge for us as coaches is how much better can we get them? They're trying to do the right thing. Are they in the position they're in? Really try to evaluate things that way because, I think this is a group that I believe in them as far as their work ethic and everything. And I believe that we can get them better. And I think that's what the main thing is. Doug Costin got in there. He made a couple of plays. Clay Brooks gets in there. He's tough as hell. He battles his butt off. Wingard's playing. He's, obviously he's improved and, we want to play better and all that. I get it. Dakota goes in there, does a nice job. So you got these guys coming in there playing. I think, Hamilton did a really nice job. I think he's really, coming on. I think he's going to be a really good football player. And the rest of the guys, are busting their butt, to get things done. So I try to look at it the other way, like when I talk to the coaches today. Hey, listen, let's get these guys better. That's the first thing. That's how you have to try to win football games. I mean, to go in and try to out scheme and do all this other stuff. Hey, technically these guys are working their butts off. Let's just keep trying to get these guys better. And, if we do that overall and everyone can improve, we kind of went through that today with the coaches, and, collectively we should be able to play more consistently.
And one quick follow-up. When you lose 3 in a row and two of the teams hadn't won a game, do you have to watch out for the mental aspects of your players going into this week? I mean, I know DJ Chark said something last night about looking at Instagram and everybody feels like they're against them and those kind of things. Do you watch out for things like that or remind them or what?
Yeah, we talk, I'll remind them, that, you can't let things on the outside, really affect your play, and you really have to be focused. And, if you look at teams that have done this, and I've been part of one team when I was with the Jets. We got off to a really rough start, but it was a veteran football team, and we went out and played San Diego. I don't know if we were 1-4, 1-5, something like that. We were one of the only teams to come back, and that was a veteran team, and we were able to win that game out there, and I think they were like 4-1 or 5-1, and win that game, and it kind of got us on a streak. But the one thing I remember about that team is that they didn't let that outside stuff get to them. The coaches didn't let that outside stuff get to them, and it's natural. It's not like if you play poorly, you don't win games. That stuff's going to be out there. You have to understand that. How you deal with it is the most important thing. You recognize it. I try to recognize it. I don't try to defend it. I just try to tell everyone, what the truth is, and okay, that's fine. Now, what are we going to do to change it? What are we going to do to get better? What are we going to do to, change, how we feel? Never mind about everybody else, but that feeling in our stomach, that we put this work in and we're not coming across with wins.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, John. Let's do 3 final ones. Let's go Gene, Cassidy, and then we'll finish with Demetrius. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, Doug. I want to ask you something NFL and COVID related. When you see what's going on right now with the Titans and the uncertainty there, tonight, New England got on a plane today to go to the Chiefs game tonight, which is something the NFL said it did not want to do, have a team traveling on the day of the game. As a coach, how does it make you feel in terms of the uncertainty and compare it to maybe where you thought the NFL would be before this season started? Are they actually doing pretty well given all the circumstances?
Yeah, I think when it first started, I'm talking about the genesis of these conversations and the genesis of the virus. There was a lot of anxiety because I wasn't really sure how it was going to how everything was going to go. I just really wasn't. I would have a hard time thinking that anyone at that point in time would think that anyone had all the answers. I think as everything started to progress, I think I realized that this is going to be a season of change, and then we have to just kind of take things day by day and knowing that, things may change, protocols may change, protocols are going to be put in place for all the right things. So I just kind of, had my mind set that way. So, when I see things like this go on and there's a reaction to, more protocols or a learning process or how can we do a better job so this doesn't happen again, I accept that and go. I have faith in, the doctors and the PA's doctors, our doctors, and the people that are consulting on it. So, there's going to be some tough decisions, down the road. I think the players, the one thing I can give you a little bit of feel, and I can't speak for them, but, the coaches and players, I think we all understand, our responsibility to be able to get all this done. I'm just talking about from our team and our organization. We went over it again today, with the coaches. I think I know we have a meeting today at 3:00, with the league. So, and I told the coaches there may be more protocols, saying, Gene, that come. I don't know. But I think we've done as good of a job as we can, to this point. I think it's something that, we continue to learn from. And I think it's something that as we learn things, we're willing to put things in place so that, these situations don't occur again.
One quick follow-up. Would you be in favor of day of game testing?
I mean, it's hard for me to answer. In other words, if someone told me, the day of the game testing, you're not going to get back till after the game. If someone just told me, hey, listen, if you do day of game testing, it's safer, it's better for you. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone would say so. So, I mean, I don't know the exact reason, for, the day of the game testing not to be there. I'm just not as, I'm not as tuned into the whys of some of the things that we're doing. I really don't know. So to answer your question, if the league said, hey, we're going to do game of day testing, would I be for it? Yeah. They say, hey, we're going to keep it the way it is. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I can't give you that reason right now. I don't know it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Gene. Let's do 2 final questions, Cassidy and Demetrius.
Hey, Coach. As you still kind of wait for word on CJ, and then, yesterday there was even a point where CJ and Trey Herndon were both out of the game. Would you consider, or how serious of a look would you give to Luke Barco and Josiah Scott this week? They've both been on the unavailable list the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, they would have to step up and play. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Demetrius. Last one. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just how difficult is it for you guys to sort of remain balanced on offense while the defense is struggling? I mean, is there a certain point where you just have to stick with it because it's working? In terms of the run game, it seems like you guys did a pretty good job of getting off to an early start and then kind of got away from it once the game got a little bit away from you. What sort of things do you have to do to remain balanced?
Yeah, I think it's you want to be in that type of game. There comes a point where it starts to change for me. When I start talking to the coaches, when it comes down to, how many points you need to score and the analytics of, how many potential possessions you have. So now you're looking for, bigger plays, you're looking for chunk plays, not to say you can't get that from, putting in a run or getting a run in here and there. I think, James has done an outstanding job. I think when you watch him run, I feel awful that, he had a 50-yard run, taken back from him, the other day. So we feel that we can consistently, gain yards, on the ground. I think we've done a good job of that. But to keep everything intact with the play action and the guessing and stay on schedule, it's a little bit tougher when you're trying to make, big plays early and you can't make them. And that's what I mean. If you make some big plays early or you get some big plays, then it's a lot easier to keep balance. When the game is, in hand or you're up or whatever it may be, it's a little bit easier. But there's a certain point in the game where, you're going to have to be able to throw the ball down the field. And, we feel like we have some good receivers. I think, DJ, came back. He had the 2 touchdowns. He did a heck of a job yesterday, played really well. I thought LaVisca did a nice job. Cole's doing a good job. Chris came in, made a big play, which is important for us. And then obviously we just got to get Colin going. So, we've got some guys that can do it. They've made some plays, and like anything else, same with, obviously Gardner delivering the football. I think the backs are doing a really good job protecting both of them, when you watch the protection and what they're doing pickup wise. So, we just got to be, better, consistently and be able to, continue to play well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see everybody on Wednesday at 9 a.m.